Good afternoon, folks. This is Marius from mariuslandman.com and from the Twitter handle landm_Marius. Today is 3 October 2018 and this is report number 65. And today we are going to look at Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and perhaps Saturday. And we're going to give you an idea what we believe what will happen with Bitcoin. Very important that you watch this video very, very carefully. Data still indicate that Bitcoin is in an upwards trend formation, albeit very slow, and we see now the formation of a wedge pattern, and we'll go into that shortly. On 13 August, Bitcoin reached a low of 5903, and today, as I write this report, we're standing at 6427, and that is a $524 gain in 51 days, complete and pure suppression of Bitcoin. Now, data indicate Bitcoin is yet to have one final upwards move, either a spike or a squeeze due to price suppression in the last 21 days, or rather 51 days. Because of this suppression, we believe, and we see it in our algorithm, that Bitcoin is going to have a spike upwards just to align again with prices as it normally should do. It will not be impossible for Bitcoin to spike upwards in one single day or take between 8 and 16 hours to spike up to a new high. We now see the formation of a large wedge marked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the charts below, with a narrowing to the right hand side where we expect the breakout. It is expected that Bitcoin will break out upwards into the green band. The green band is there till maximum Friday night going into Saturday, with a gradual drop to follow for the rest of October. In this case, the date, and listen to this very carefully, guys, the date of Friday, Saturday, maybe going into Saturday morning, but Friday night is important, and that will be the high point. And whenever we reach that potential high point, that indicates that that is the time that you need to exit the markets or reduce your risk in certain portfolios. However, we are expecting one more final upward spike, guys, a squeeze going into 7.3, that level there, or perhaps more. It can go to 8.4. And if you look at report number 64, the previous report, you'll notice that all the high and low points are in there, and we give you a direction of where we could go. So if you look at this, this is the area where we are now, guys, where we see that wedge, and we see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legs. And let's go into this area. We zoom in and we have a look at this. When we zoom in, this is what you get. Now, Bitcoin came up till 24 September, came to this point where we then said that it's going to go into an 8-day cycle. It went through the 8-day cycle. That cycle has now ended, and now we are in divine judgment going forward. This date, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, is so important for us. And you can see here Bitcoin is just really heading lower there, but I'm going to show you now why we believe that it's going to go upwards. You'll see that this is a wedge, the red line on the top there and the red line here on the bottom. This bottom red line here has served as support where the market came down here, tried to break through there, but it came up and it broke out. It just showed us the strength of Bitcoin. Then it came down to this point again here, and now it's down at that point. Now have a look at this little play here, and I'm going to go into the TradingView chart and show you what we believe is going to happen. We see Bitcoin basically going up till here, dropping down here, and then somewhere around this point is going to go and hit and come to that resistance point there. And once it breaks through that resistance point there, it's going to be like an elastic that's being released. And that elastic can go potentially higher than 7386. Now, if you look at the height from here to there, we've duplicated that, and that normally in chart patterns will indicate to you what that potential high point could be when it breaks out. And that high point is a little bit higher than 7386. But as I say, it's like elastic. Bitcoin has been suppressed for about 51 days. If you look at here, from this date here, a little bit further backwards, but that indicates about 51 days of price suppression by Bitcoin, even where Bitcoin broke down here. It wasn't supposed to break down that much, but that is what we call price suppression. The powers that be keep selling Bitcoin at lower prices. But in the end, these powers that be, they are going to run out of coins, and they can't just do it forever. There's only 21 million Bitcoins, and if we the people start owning those Bitcoins, my gosh, guys, if 10 million people in the world 10 million of us, if each of us own two Bitcoins, we control the Bitcoin market. We don't want the elite to have 1,000 coins, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 coins. So what we want to do is to wrap up those coins when they get at lower prices, which we are going to get now, because as soon as the market goes up here, we expect that the market then is going to go and drop down, and you can go and have a look at my worldwide video. And we believe that is going to happen, where some buying opportunities in Bitcoin is going to come up. And you bet that we are going to buy them. So yeah, there we go, the 8 days. This is still the old chart. The 8 days have now passed. Let me just refresh that rather. So the 8 days have gone. We are now in divine judgment. So on 24 September, we said after that we're going to have 8 days, then divine judgment. And we are now 10 hours into divine judgment. Divine judgment is basically, guys, where the elite is going to start to lose control. And that will happen in this green band where it's going to break up. That is what we expect. And then it's going to come down and drop a little bit further. So here we are now on TradingView. Now what I want you to do is to have a look at this chart pattern here. We came all the way up here, it dropped down here, and then it went a little bit sideways here where I am now, also with a little bit of a triangle, a breakout there, it came down here. This basically here started the formation of the wedge triangle. And normally you'd have an A, B, C, D, E, and at the E you normally get a breakout. In this case we don't see the market breaking down further. There's also always a small possibility that it can happen, that the market can actually come to this point here and then break down. So it's very important that we watch the market, and I'll send you updates on Telegram to let you know what is happening. Our algorithm data shows that we are going to come up. It's going to be like this, come down here, and then break out and go upwards. Now, if I take this distance here and I duplicate that distance here, you get that pink line there, which is basically your 7374 mark. But it's not impossible, guys, as we said before, that the market can go up to 8490, or as high as what our algorithm resistance says is $10,012. So, which is that gray line there that's coming up there. The market has been suppressed here. But the thing is with Bitcoin, you can't really suppress Bitcoin forever. Bitcoin has its own move. It's a very strong coin at the moment, although the volume is very low. It's actually a good sign for Bitcoin, because as you get down to these points where you get down to a narrow squeeze, the volume must go down. And this is exactly what's happening at volume, because there's no people who want to sell. Okay, so understand this. Nobody is selling their Bitcoin. I'm not selling my Bitcoin. I'm not going to sell it at all. As a matter of fact, my Bitcoin is in wallets that I keep. I don't care what the price is. If the price goes down to 6,000, I'm buying more. 5,000, I'm buying more. Because eventually, within a very short period of your lifespan, you may live 70, 80, 90 years, but within 1 year, it's only 1 year of your life, Bitcoin is going to be way, way above $60,000. Bitcoin is going to $1 million a coin. So you should have portfolios where you keep your Bitcoin and just never ever sell them. But what we are saying here, when the market now goes up on the high, in your model portfolios, if you run model portfolios and not accumulating portfolios, you should get rid of certain coins, and because the market is going to head downwards. But it's up to you to decide what you're going to sell and what you're going to keep. For me personally, I'm keeping Litecoin. I'm not selling Litecoin, but you may want to sell your Litecoin. I was just on the phone yesterday with a lady from Canada, and she's got about 58 Litecoins, and we suggested, listen, when we get to that high point, sell your Litecoins, because once it comes down here to the bottom, you buy them back, and you may buy with the same amount of money 70 Litecoins. So it's really up to you guys, but just keep in mind that we are expecting this uptrend here. Now let's quickly go to the charts of IOTA. If you look at this chart here, you'll see that we've got an A, B, C, D, E, exactly the same pattern as Bitcoin. Okay, the same pattern. We get into EOS, look at this, A, B, C, D, and there is your breakout. Can you see that this pattern here already is starting to form that uptrend formation where we expect that market to break out here? Let's have a look at NEO. Oh, NEO is exactly the same. Look there again, okay? So in this case, what I've done, I've put TD sequential on, and you can literally see here that TD sequential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 in TD sequential indicates the bottom. Okay, so there we go. What's this going to do? NEO is going to go up. Okay, now what is really interesting about this one here? It's exactly the same as Bitcoin. See the same formation. Now let's have a look at OMG. OMG, let's take that out and let's go and draw that. Here's the low point there. That's A, B, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in this case, I'm just going to use A, B, high point there, C. There we go. Low point there. And then we're going to have that breakout there. So we've got some major coins here, IOTA, EOS, NEO, OMG, forming the same pattern as Bitcoin here. So we believe that they are due to break out. When is this breakout going to happen? Let's zoom in and let's have a look. Okay, now remember I'm here on the 4-hour chart. There we are. Okay, you can see here. Okay, let's have a look at here at between line number 2 and 3. So look at where my mouse is now. See this pattern that we are playing here between line 2 and 3? This is potentially what Bitcoin is going to do here as well. You see there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we should have a breakout coming into Divine Judgment Day, which basically is Thursday, Friday, and perhaps on Saturday as well. Okay, so the 8-day cycle has now ended. It ends today basically at that point there, and then we expect that cycle to play out exactly similar to what we've got here. Again, I'm just putting that there and just making a random decision here. It's not based on any facts or anything, but what I'm saying is normally what happens at the end of that cycle, these last two legs actually repeat themselves. Now the difference is once you get to this point here, when the market touches wherever it's going to be, Thursday or Friday, when it touches that top resistance line, that is where we expect the market to break out. Now, very careful for you, if you are watching this video, once we get to that resistance line there, and it does not break through, but it breaks through and comes back and breaks through and comes back, and it starts to drop, that is the signal, and I will post it on Telegram to warn you that the market will not break out, but the market is going to return lower. But as I say, the most likely scenario here is that we are going to break out. And you'll basically see a stab through that resistance line, because remember it's touching there and it's touching there, and we expect Bitcoin now to go up. And see, there is actually the formation there of the next little leg. Let's just zoom in there. And you can see here that we have green, red, and that could potentially then form either one of these two legs here, just to move up a little bit higher. If we see that a high coming up to around about this level there of about 6.5, then we can expect the market then to go up higher, form that draw back again, which it's done there. You know, it can do that at any time, and then break through. So we are expecting the market to come down here to that little resistance line, poke through that resistance line with a solid green uptrend, and then it could be that we just release a elastic and the market just simply goes up. This is one of the most complicated algorithms that I have ever come across in Bitcoin, simply in the way that we just cannot predict what the price is going to do. 7384 or 9028. I wish I had a clear answer for you, but at the moment we just don't. But again, our algorithm does show that we do hit a higher point than this point here. Because in real terms, guys, if you look at your ABC, okay, let's have a look at this again, and I'll show you what we initially said. That was your A, B, we said that is your C around there, and then it came down sharply, and then it went up again very sharp to that point. So we said this could be your high point. And then obviously if you look at leg between B and C is always your most strongest leg. But the market actually broke down a little bit further here, and we see price suppression here where the powers that be just didn't want Bitcoin to go and break higher. But they can't do it forever. And now what Bitcoin is doing is to form that really solid wedge pattern where it's going to get squeezed to break out. Now in this level, we said that the market's going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. You've always got like 3 upward trends in your BC leg. Not that we use Elliott wave a lot. We only account for about 8% of Elliott wave. Most of our data is derived from algorithm analysis, which is more your quantitative mathematical analysis for the price of Bitcoin. Everything in the world works with maths and algorithms, and Bitcoin is nothing different. So this point here is the point that we are interested in, that high point. You can argue and say that the market drop down here, that maybe could have been the high point of C. This is now the low point, which is that D point. If you look at all our previous reports, you'll see that we identify this low point D in the report number 60, 61, and 62, and even 63. So we are now on the low point D, and we just look for this little breakout now that's going to take us up to a certain level. So yeah, let's just zoom in here now into the green band. So remember, guys, that we had the 24 September date here. We then had 8 days, 8-day cycle. That cycle ends on Wednesday and is basically ending in about 8 hours. And then we're heading into divine judgment, 3 days there, and then the market is going to go, in our opinion, going to go up. Let me just get that. Going to go up, and then going to go downwards. Okay, guys, it's a difficult situation where we are in now, but just remember that I've shown you the same with OMG, NEO, and these are all in my model portfolio. I'm waiting for that breakout, and once I get the breakout, I'm going to sell these. This one here, which is basically EOS, is a really good indicator, and you can see that it's turning around there, and it should break upwards. And then we've also got IOTA, which now is basically in that trend upwards. So this green band is very important to watch. Again, we look for the breakout there at that point. So guys, listen, have a good day, and I'll keep you updated on Telegram. You'll probably see a little bit more messages now up till we get to Friday or even Saturday. Yeah, guys, good luck, and we wish you all the best. Talk to you soon.